Hi everyone and welcome back to the video. In this video, we're going to talk about how to register a domain name and how to set up hosting for your blog. So a domain name is the web address that people can use to access your blog, such as www.google.com, www.youtube.com, www.yourblog.com, anything. So that's the web address that people use to access your website. Hosting is the service that keeps your blog online and accessible to the public. So there are two essential steps that you need to take before you start blogging. But how do you choose a domain name and hosting provider for your blog? I've already talked about how to consider and how to select a domain name for your blog in one of the previous videos. So do check that out if you haven't already. So I guess you have already selected a domain name for your blog. So the second step is to check for its availability. So before you register a domain name, it's important to make sure it's available. So you can use a domain name checker tool to see if your desired domain name is available, or you can visit a domain registrar to see if it's available for you to purchase. A domain registrar is a company that allows you to register a domain name and manage your online presence. If your desired domain name is already taken, you may need to come up with an alternative or a different extension such as .net or .org or your country specific extension if you want to use that. There might be cases when your domain name is available, but it's available for a very huge amount, which can be in thousands or 10,000s or 100,000s of dollars, and that can be the case. And uh, if that is the case, then you might want to reconsider, because that is someone flipping a domain name. So what's a flipping a domain name? Flipping a domain name basically means that you buy a domain name, you don't use it for yourself, you don't use it for blogging, but you just keep it, you make and you keep it for future, because you know that this domain name is very good and someone in the future will want this domain name. So you just buy a domain name, you keep it, and then you put it online to sell at a very huge price, and then you make profit out of it. So many companies, if any, let's say there is a, let's say Amazon, okay, or let's say Uber, or let's say any other company, they want to enter a new country, so they want a domain name which is Uber us.com, let's say, because that is what they are doing. For any country that they enter, they select a domain name which has a name of that country in the domain name. So they have done Uber US, Uber UK, Uber India. So now they are entering, let's say, China or Japan. So they want, so you know that they will want uberjapan.com. So what you do, you just buy the domain name, you keep it in your account, and in a couple of years, that company will have to contact you, and you will then sell your domain name for a very huge price, and then you make profit. So some people make a living out of flipping domains, and some people do it as a side hustle. So flipping domain is a thing, and it's prevalent in current scenarios as well. And there is a very high possibility that you will uh, see a domain name which is selling at a very high price, and that's basically someone flipping a domain name. So don't choose that. You can come up with a different idea. You can choose Bing, Bard, or Chat GPT to brainstorm new ideas, or if you want that domain name, then use a different extension. So that's the second step. The third step is to choose a reputable domain registrar. There are many domain registrars to choose from, so it's important to do your research and choose one that is reputable and offers good customer service. Look for a registrar which has good reputation and has a track record of helping customers with domain registrations and management. And that is very important, because if you select a domain registrar which is not so well known, which is just starting out, and you buy a domain name from them just because they are giving it to you at a discount, you will regret in the longer run. And I have some personal experience with this. So always choose a domain name from a registrar that is very popular and they have some accountability. You can also check out forums to check if a domain name is domain registrar is reputable. And some of the popular domain registrars which you might have already heard about are Namecheap and GoDaddy. I'll recommend Namecheap. I am using them for a couple of years now, and they are well known for their good domain name services. They are known for their domain names. They also provide hosting services, and now they are entering into new areas as well. But still, their hosting is not that great. I've tried it. Their hosting service is not that great, but their domain name service is very good. So you can buy domain name from that. GoDaddy is another one. You might have already heard about them. They do a lot of ads. So GoDaddy is also one. I have not tried GoDaddy that much because I was already satisfied with Namecheap. So I'll recommend you, if you are just starting out, go with Namecheap. You will not have a lot of difficulty. You just have to go make an account, select a domain name, and they provide 1 year of free whois protection, privacy for free, and that's a huge plus as well. Other domain name registrars make you pay for it, so that's one more reason to buy from Namecheap. So buy from Namecheap, and uh, in the bottom of this video, in the description, you may find a link of Namecheap. That's an affiliate link. So if you buy using that affiliate link, so you will not have to pay anything extra, but I will get a small commission, and that will basically help me run this channel, run this service, whatever I am doing, and that does not cost you anything extra. So do check that link out. You'll find it in the description or comment section or anywhere. So do check out that link, and yeah, I'll recommend you go with Namecheap. So that's and okay. So and with this step, we are done with purchasing a domain name. So if you are going with Namecheap, I will give you all the steps that you will have to take. Go on the Namecheap website, register there, sign up for an account. They will ask for your email and password. Give in your email and password. Then they will tell you to check out your email. Check out your email. Click the link to verify your account. Log in your account. Search in the search bar for the domain name that you want. Select the extension that you want. Press select. And now check out. Check out the number of months that you want to. Okay, for domain name, you will have to select the number of years that you want. Okay, so for 1 year, 2 years, 3 year, and now I will tell you select. So the minimum is 1 year, right? You will have to select it for a minimum of 1 year. But now it's up to you. If you want to buy it for 2 years at once or 5 years at once, it's totally up to you. If you're serious about blogging, and if you know that you have that passion, that perseverance, that you will not give up after 6 months or 1 month or 2 months, then you may buy it for 2 years as well, or 5 years as well at once. But I recommend most of you to just buy it for 1 year. Just check it out, because you don't know what the future holds for you. You don't know the future circumstances that may happen. So buy it for 1 year, but buying it for 2 or 5 years is also advantageous in their own way, because then you are more accountable. Okay, that gives you pressure that you have paid for something already, and you cannot give up on this because you have already invested in something. So yeah, totally up to you. If you want to buy it for 5 years, 2 years, or 1 year, just decide yourself and buy a domain name. So that with this, we are done with the domain name. Now we have to deal with hosting. So the fourth step is so now we are starting with hosting. Okay, so the step is to consider hosting options. So there are several different hosting options to choose from, and they range from shared hosting, dedicated hosting, cloud hosting, VPS. Shared hosting is the most affordable option and is suitable for most of the beginners out there, as it involves sharing server resources and with other websites. I have already made a dedicated video on the different types of hosting that's available and what you should choose. I'll give you the crux of this video. If you're a beginner, choose for shared hosting. If you know what you're doing, if you are a seasoned blogger, and if you are doing it for the second or third time, then you can go for cloud hosting. But if you're a beginner, you go with shared hosting. Unless you don't want to go with shared hosting, then I have a video already. I have discussed 9 or 10 points in it, on 9 or 10 points that you should consider. Then you can check out this video and select a different type of hosting for you. But for most of the people watching this video, shared hosting is the way to go. So if you are a beginner, go with shared hosting. If you expect a lot of traffic on, or if you have a specific need, then you might want to consider a more expensive option such as dedicated or cloud hosting. Dedicated hosting offers some more resources and control on your server. Cloud hosting is a newer option and offers the benefit of both shared hosting and dedicated hosting, and it allows you to scale your resources or up or down as you need. The next step is to choose a reputable hosting provider, and this is very, very important because this will affect your speed, and speed is very important these days. Just like with the domain name, it's important to choose a reputable hosting provider which offers good customer service and support. So do your research and read reviews before making a decision. Look for a good hosting provider that has a good reputation and a good track record of helping customers with hosting and website management. Some popular hosting providers include SiteGround, HostGator. Okay. Many of the people will tell you Bluehost as well, but I will not recommend Bluehost. The reason why these people are recommending you Bluehost is because Bluehost has a affiliate program and they pay very high for to affiliates. So the people who are recommending you Bluehost, there is a very high chance that they are just after your money and they want big, large affiliate commission. That's why they are recommending you Bluehost. I'll recommend you SiteGround or HostGator. Okay. You can use any of these. Namecheap also has their own department of hosting. They provide hosting services these days, dedicated hosting, WordPress hosting. I have tried their shared hosting plan. It's not that you will not face any difficulties with uptime, but the speed is the issue. So you will face some speed issues with Namecheap. So I'll not recommend you go with Namecheap, or I haven't checked out Bluehost honestly, so I'll not tell you to don't go with Bluehost, but I've told you why people recommend Bluehost a lot. I'll recommend you go with SiteGround and HostGator, and it's changing with time. Okay, so both domain registrars and hosting providers, it's not static. They are changing day by day. Who is providing the best service today for domain for domain registrations? Today it's Namecheap. Maybe in future it may be someone else. Similarly, for hosting provider, maybe today SiteGround or HostGator are very popular. Maybe in the future it will change and some other company will pop up. Let's say Google. Okay, so Google already has their own services. Let's say tomorrow Microsoft comes up with their own hosting provider website, and maybe that will outperform everything else. So do check the description. I will update in the description or in the comment section on which is, or I'll attach it in the notes or anywhere else on what are the best hosting providers currently in the market. So I cannot update the video. I'll try to update the video as well, but if not the video, then I'll definitely update the description in the comment section for both the hosting provider and domain registrar. So do check out the description. I'll give the link there. Okay, so just go through the link in the description, and that will be the link that I will be putting after doing a lot of research, my own research, and using my own experience. Okay, so do check out this link for domain registrars and hosting providers, or otherwise you can always do your own research. The next step is to consider your budget. So hosting can be an ongoing expense, so it's important to consider your budget when choosing a hosting provider. So if you are just starting out and are on a very tight budget, you may want to choose a more affordable option such as shared hosting. However, keep in mind the cheaper options may not offer the same level of resources and support as the more expensive options. If you expect to see a lot of traffic or have specific need that you want to invest in, then a more expensive option can be for you. Next step is to think about your long-term goals. So when choosing a hosting provider, it's important to consider your long-term goals for your blog. If you expect to see a lot of traffic or have specific needs in the future, then you may want to choose a hosting provider that can grow with you and support your future needs.
This may mean choosing a more expensive option upfront because it can save you time and hassle in the longer run. And this is important also because if you choose a hosting provider that cannot grow with you and that cannot satisfy your needs in the future, then you will have to migrate your website from one hosting provider to a different hosting provider, and that can be a big of a hassle, and that can become complicated, technical, and that can become a bit of a headache for you. So select a hosting provider that can grow with you and that can provide your that can satisfy your needs in the future as well. So for the big so SiteGround and HostGator are something that can satisfy your needs in the if even if your blog grows. uh, and if you are so sure that you will get a lot of traffic, then you may not want to go with shared hosting, and you may want to go with VPS hosting right from the beginning. Okay, if you know what you're doing, uh, then you may want to go with cloud hosting. Then cloud hosting uh, is a cloud hosting can always help you in the longer run. So in conclusion, registering a domain name and setting up hosting are very important steps in starting a blog. Choosing a domain name that reflects your brand and it is easy to remember is very important. And it is very important to choose a reputable domain registrar and domain provider. Consider your budget and hosting options to find the best solution for your needs. And think about your own long-term goals to ensure that you choose a hosting provider that can grow with you. And the crux of this video is, see the description or comment section or the notes or whatever it is. I will put the links there. Those will be the updated, most reputable and affordable options for you by the time you're watching this video. I'll continuously update those links, so do check that out. Those are the options that are best for you at the time that you're watching this video. So the action steps for this video are: brainstorm and come up with a list of potential domain names that reflect your brand and are easy to remember. You can use online tools that I've already mentioned and brainstorm ideas with your friends and come up with ideas. And you can also check my video on brainstorming your domain name. I have made a video. I'll also attach it with this video somewhere. Second action step is check the availability of your desired domain name using a domain name checker tool or by visiting a domain registrar. The third action step is research and compare different domain registrars to find one that is reputable and offers good customer service. Read reviews and ask friends or colleagues for recommendation. And if you don't want to do this, then check the link that I will be putting in the description, or you can do this as well if you want your own personal satisfaction. The fourth point is decide on what type of hosting best suits your need and budget. And shared hosting is a good option for beginners, as I've already mentioned, or those who are just starting out and have very low traffic. Cloud hosting or dedicated hosting may be the better fit for you if you have high traffic or if you have specific needs that cannot be dealt with shared hosting. The next action step is research and compare different hosting providers to find one that is reputable and offers good customer service. Read reviews and ask friends and colleagues for recommendation. Similarly, with the domain name provider, check out the links that I will give in, or you can do your own research. And also, one point I will add in here: you can select a single provider for registering both your domain names and hosting, or you can select two different websites, two different companies, one for registering your domain name with and one for registering your hosting. So it's possible that and I will recommend you that you choose two different, and if you don't want a lot of hassle, then you may select a single service as well, because there are a lot of domain names providers out there which provide you your domain name as well. So they will tell you that buy this package or buy a domain name for 2 years or 12 months and we will give you a domain name for free. But there is always a catch with this, and I'll tell you the catch. So they will give you the domain name free for the first year, but for the second year they will charge you very high. They will charge you enormous. So it's possible that they may, and go ready to do it. I can tell you this as of now. They will give you domain name free for the first year, but for the second year, you will have to pay very high. So if the market price is $9, maybe they will charge you $12 for the domain name for all the years. all the upcoming years. So keep that in mind, and they may also have a function built in that uh, locks your domain name, so you cannot migrate your domain name to a different provider as well in the future. So that can be a bit of a hassle as well. The other, so always do check out the terms and condition whenever you are buying a domain name. It's very important. So they will put in a small asterisk whenever whenever they write that get a domain name for free for the first year. You may always see a small asterisk. So what you have to do, you have to click that asterisk and you have to read the terms and condition on what are the terms and condition and what are the charges that they will be asking you in the upcoming years. So that's why I'll tell you that select Namecheap. Namecheap is best for domain name, for registering a domain name. Their registration charges are pretty affordable, and they don't do these kind of tactics. So for the next year, they will tell you in advance what they will be charging for the next year for renewing your domain name, and they will charge you that only. They will not charge you anything very high. Okay, so to keep this in mind. So for domain name, I'll tell you Namecheap. For hosting, similar thing. They may offer you to provide a free domain name, but they can lock in, and some hosting services may give you their hosting for a very cheap price for the first couple of months. But after then they may increase their prices, and then you will have to migrate your website, and that can be a bit of a hassle. And there are a lot of nitty-gritties that go into these websites. So always consult someone who has experience and go with someone who has experience in this domain, at least when you are buying a domain name or hosting for the first time in your life. Don't try to research a lot on your own and try to buy it from a website that is not very well known. You may get a very good price, and you may think that you have outsmarted everyone who is making these videos and everyone else. But in the longer run, you may face consequences that you may not have thought of in current right now. So that was my recommendation. The rest is up to you. I've given you all the tips and tricks that you want, even if you want to do your own research. The internet is always there for you. The Chat GPT, Bing, AI, Bard, Google Bard, everything is there for you. But I will recommend you, if you're doing it for the first time, just go with what an experienced person is telling you. And but at the end, it's your choice. You can always do what you want. Okay. So that was for this video. If you want to learn more about this topic, and if you want notes of this video, and if you want to know the mistakes that people make which is related to this video, then check out this book. This book is the source material for all the videos that I make. So it gives you very good knowledge, and I have written a couple of extra content in this book that I don't normally discuss in the video. So do check out this book, and I'll see you in the next one.